What's going on, everybody? My name is Quoy, here from Ray of Gratitude, giving a peace of mind to at least that one person at a time. So, we have another episode. I'm here again talking about keeping it real with yourself. Now, I'm going to show you a few things that I have that are in my Creative Soul Workbook. I created this because this was things that I was going through with my journey. You know, I had my spiritual journey. I have my wellness journey. I have my creative journey. And all of those things were honestly one path that were leading to just one thing in this point and moment right now. And it birthed the workbook. And, you know, my intentions were to share what I learned to other people that are on similar paths. You know, I can't say that everybody has the same path, but there's definitely similar walks of life that we all go through. And I just want to share that because I know it can be rough as I don't know what. Okay, y'all. So anywho, let's talk about keeping it real with ourselves. Let's talk about looking at the good, the bad, and the ugly. A lot of times people, you know, when you think of wellness, you kind of think of peaches and creams and everything is nice and sunny days and, you know, beach days and stuff like that. But there's storms, you know, just like a plant. I'm looking at my plant right now. It had to start in the dirt, in the dark. And then once it gets up to bloom, it's popping, right? It's getting that nutrients. But then once it's out of the dark, it still has to get that nutrients. It still needs that water and that food. So how do we get to those places? How do we do that? Let's talk about it. So, you know, keeping it real is really about self-reflection, reflection time, how much time you want to give yourself. I know there's so much going on in the world right now. We have these busy lives and work drains us more than few. I don't know. I mean, you know, if you have a happy relationship, a happy work environment that you love and a job that you just really just feel fulfilled in, kudos to you. Well done. But that really isn't a dime a dozen. I feel like that's kind of like finding, well, I don't want to put a damper in it, y'all, but I kind of want to say it's like finding a needle in a haystack, honestly. Especially for me, the way that my life has been set up, it was finding a needle in a haystack. And I actually knew from a long time that, you know, I remember graduating from college, like I already knew I wanted my own business. I did not want to really, I had the mindset of why put in and bend your back for people in the work environment that, you know, aren't really self-serving or aren't really about the whole. They're really about one person, and you're kind of breaking your back and standing in their beliefs instead of your own. That's how I saw it. And that's because I've dealt with a lot of corporations. And, you know, that's just my experience. It can be definitely different experience for others, but not for nothing, like corporations kind of are built on those type of beliefs. And I didn't fit into that. I just didn't. So I wanted to build my own, but I also knew that I had no idea what it took or how to run a business really, you know, and I didn't really have much resources or people because I'm really like a one-on-one person when I like to learn, especially things that I don't have much knowledge about. And I didn't have that. I didn't have that in my family. I didn't have it in just anybody that was really openly ready to share that information, you know. Other people that I was around, they kind of were tight-lipped, like, oh, and there's certain things I would ask, and it's like, is she asking that? We don't want to let her know that, you know? And throughout that storyline of me being sensitive, me absorbing people's energy, and me really taking things extremely personal, made me carry that story throughout my beginnings as an entrepreneur, as well as just a creative, like I can go way back in the crates when I was younger, but it, in short, it kind of, that story that I told myself kind of still carried along to when I was adult doing freelance work for businesses, and also trying to hold it down for my own entrepreneur business that I had going on. And this is the thing. I wasn't keeping it real with myself. I kept it real with myself when knowing what I wanted to go after, knowing that I wanted this business, and knowing that I didn't really know too much, but at the same time was open to learn. But I really didn't dig deeper. And this is what I'm talking about, the soul work. This is talking about also what I'm talking about with soul growth. It's going within. As I was saying, I don't know if there's any Chappelle fans out there, but please comment below and let me know if y'all remember that skit that he had when keeping it real goes wrong. So, I just was always this spirit of wanting to tell the truth and wanting to help people, right? But the way that I used to express myself, it was very passionate, but it also was from a form of not being heard. So it would come across as like, you don't hear me, y'all. And it just came across as like, sometimes people say that wounded warrior, it wasn't doing good. It was keeping it real goes wrong, for sure. And if y'all remember those skits, I wasn't to that extreme, but it was like mixed messages, keeping it real goes wrong. Sometimes the wrong part of keeping it real was my intentions. My intentions really was trying to be heard, not trying to serve and trying to help someone else. That was like the second motive. The first motive was trying to be heard. And that's where keeping it real was going wrong. And it took a while for me to really understand and realize this. And it's like, even with friends, it's like, we hear you, like Sequoia, okay, she is speaking the truth. Sequoia does know what she's talking about, but damn, you ain't have to say it like that, and hurt people hurt others, right? So if I'm this wounded person because my whole life, right, I felt like I couldn't be heard in the manner that I'm trying to, then how else is it going to come out? Kind of hurtful. Keeping it real goes wrong. And this is the thing that this exercise that I have in this book, keeping it real, I put it in the way where it helps you think of a person. Because me as an empath, me as a highly sensitive person, and I'm sure many people that get this book is gravitated to that because they are as well. And, instead of being that wounded warrior, instead of still coming from that form of woundedness and hurt, you got to look yourself in the mirror. You got to really dig deeper within and understand, why am I hurting? And how can I change that around? So many times we attract the same type of people. First, look at the friend. The friend that you may always feel that you are helping, right? Or the friend or the family member that really gets on your nerves because you feel that you have good advice, but they never listen to it, right? If you're one of those people, this is a great exercise because you can kind of find yourself within that story, within those stories. And when you use this book, I want you to even have another piece of paper because it might be longer, but be open to expressing, because guess what, baby? Ain't nobody around to judge you but yourself. And you can even go back to these exercises and look at, how were you judging yourself in that moment? If you were being really judgmental, do it again. Do it from a place of compassion. Writing is so good for the soul because it allows you to get that communication. It allows you to get that communication out and see it literally out of your brain and onto a piece of paper. Sometimes people are like, oh, I don't like writing, da 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 da. The reason why they don't like writing is because they may like keeping everything in their head. You know, you may be good at doing that, but over time, it gets overwhelming. Everybody goes through overwhelmment, and it's a good way to practice or shift certain habits that don't work in your favor and really get it out there, really put it out there on a piece of paper, really be able to see that. And also, actually too, it's a place of recording what has happened. Again, like you can go back a month, you can go back a year, and trust and believe too. Sometimes you wind up going through very similar lessons and you're like, damn, I'm here again. Why? And then you have, oh, let me just look at this. And it just feels so refreshing to see where your mindset was at. That's how I use writing as a tool, as a wellness tool, and as a way that is creative, that is self-help, self-soothing, and self-reflective to help my soul grow. So when you do find that you're casting a lot of judgment on others, more than likely you're catching a lot of judgment on yourself. Another exercise that's in this book. But not worrying about other people and focusing on yourself. When you see that you're being extra judgmental to yourself, that's definitely a place where you need to be more compassionate to yourself and find that self-love. Because again, this book is all about journeys, and most importantly, it's about that self-love journey. Knowing yourself, loving yourself gives the space and opportunity and time for you to grow from within and expand greater and be able to be that change you want to see in the world. You know, not being cheesy, but at the same time, y'all know, if you've been following me, I love quotes. If you don't know, check out some of my Monday motivations that I've had using my gratitude attitude cards, because I've been blessed with more time in my life in these phases of my entrepreneurship, and really had to look at how can I utilize my time the best way possible and not working so hard that I'm exhausted to the point of burnout. Utilize this time to recharge, reflect, and I'm thinking of another R word, but I can't right now. But really like revitalize, rejuvenate yourself and your soul. So that's all that I have in this message here. I really hope that this helps you. You know, if you're looking and wondering where can you buy this book, because there's multiple other exercises and images that you can create and really meditate on, and focus on transforming any negative energy, any negative problems that you have into something positive. We're all on a journey, but you got to figure out which path you're going to walk, right? And this is a workbook that can allow you to understand which path or where you need help. You know, if you can do the self work on your own and possibly come to a point in your life like, all right, hey, I need some more help. You know, but come from a place of knowing yourself more before asking for help. So if you're feeling the vibe, please subscribe. All right. There's plenty of links below. I have workshops that also tie into and are very parallel to my workbooks. And I help guide you through things. You know, I can come and help with certain things. It's almost, you know, you just get a little bit more of piece of me, I'll just say. And, you know, check links below too for the products that I have, my soul care products. And there's something else I want to tell you. Oh yeah, if you don't know already, I'm just going to let you know something. I really like cards, and I do card readings as well as a service, but as actually on this platform too. because I'm all about energy, talking with chakras, understanding our own energy system, chakras, and figuring out how we can transform that energy as well. So again, if you're feeling the vibe, please subscribe, please share, please comment if you're feeling it in your understanding. Like, let me know. Let me know how this resonates with you. Comment. I love to respond, and, share with other people if this feels like something that can really help someone as well. Sharing is caring, y'all. But that's all I got to say. Until next time, I'm outie. Peace.